Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the Ginja and Bo podcast, which is not anymore the Ginja and Bo podcast much since we've had like a million people on it, and we keep having guests. We need to find a new name.
Ginja and Bo and Friends.
The Ginja and Bo and Friends. The super best friend.
Just start listing every single person that joins the podcast, and so the name of the podcast keeps getting longer and longer.
Yeah, the Ginja and Bo and Violet and Gian and Eric and Tiago podcast for now. It should be.
Or we just have to change every week. We have to change it based on who's actually on the podcast.
That would be funny.
No consistency in our name at all.
No, it would be extremely inconsistent.
That's perfect for marketing, yes.
Yeah, he does nothing consistent.
We love that. Anyway, what's everyone been up to?
Recently, I think one thing we've all been up to is the new Disney Plus show.
Wandavision.
Yes,
we love Wandavision.
I did love it. It was
I
so
did love
good.
it as well.
I got it right now. I got right now the pun of the name.
Yeah.
That it's like WandaVision because it's like a TV series, but there's also Vision.
Did you not?
Fuck me, I
and
got
she's
it right
called
now.
She's
I
called
was
Wanda,
I
and
was-
he's called Vision. Did you not get
I
that?
was convinced it was just WandaVision because it was a show about her and like it's set in a
Wow.
TV or like it's a sitcom. Fuck me.
Big brain move right there.
No.
Well
I'm
done.
an idiot.
I'm pretty sure it's also a pun on the production company name, Wandavision.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's way
Makes
too
sense.
complex for me. That's way too complex for me.
Well done. But what did,
Thanks.
what did everybody
anyway.
think of the show, at least?
I didn't
It's good.
finish it.
Oh,
Do you mind spoilers?
did you not watch the two
Yeah,
episodes?
I don't care about spoilers on that
Okay.
show.
Well, I mean, there's
Good.
not anything to spoiler because nothing happens in the two
Okay,
episodes.
true.
I mean, there is lots happening if you know where to look.
There's a lot of really subtle
But I
hints,
fucking know.
to be fair.
What? Yeah, okay. There's the guy that says, Wanda, can you hear me?
Oh, I know who that is now as well.
I don't know. Don't tell me.
Oh. I want to say it because they accidentally spoiled it because I won't say who it is, but they in the English version in the trailers it doesn't say who the voice actor is for the guy on the radio, but in other languages it says it's this character voiced by so and so.
Oh,
So
no.
it's made it so people have worked out. Or also, if you listen, if you know it's a character who's appeared in Marvel films before, you can just about tell it's that person.
See, I thought. No, I'm not going to say who it was in case. No, I'm not going to say anything because it's either going to sound really stupid or I'm going to be right and
Do
then
you
I'm
wanna-
going to spoilt it.
Do you want to message me quickly and I'll tell you?
No,
I won't
it's
say
fine.
the answers right. I'll know what you thought. But
Okay.
I thought I recognised the voice and I thought it was this person. But the translation confirmed that it was this person.
Lol. We love translations.
Yeah.
Ruining films since... well, not necessarily, as we talked last week with Star Wars. The translation improves Jar Jar Binks. So there's...
Oh, I still need to go back and watch Phantom Menace in a different language to see what Jar Jar sounds like.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Oui.
Oui. My name is Jar Jar Binks. I am here to be the Sith Lord. I will shock you with my lightning. That's the sound of French lightning.
Violet just messaged me who she thought it was, and she is indeed correct.
Oh no!
Well, good for her.
Sorry, did you not want to know, Violet, if you were right?
Oh no, I did obviously because I wouldn't have messaged you. But
Okay, yeah. There you go. But yeah, it's a person who's appeared in at least one Marvel film before.
Okay. Is it... Oh no, Peter Dinklage was in X-Men.
Okay, no, it's not that person. To be honest, it's quite...
Oh no, he was also... Peter Dinklage was also in Avengers. I forgot about that.
Was he? I don't know who the actor is, actually.
Yeah, he's the dwarf giant.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, Peter
Who's
Dinklage.
literally a dwarf that is also a giant.
I know.
Subverting the
Duomo.
stereotype.
Beautiful moment.
Literally, yeah. And so yeah, he is also the dwarf giant. But yeah, I don't know. So WandaVision, I thought I didn't mind it because I really like sitcoms. I really enjoy sitcoms, so I like the format. But for example, my friend who he's a big he has a film degree. He's very good at like film stuff, and he didn't really enjoy it. He said like it's nothing happened, and he is true. I don't know. I didn't mind the fact too much that nothing happened. I just wished that if they went that way, they would have released all the episodes at the same time. So, especially because it's so short.
Yeah.
Yeah. That did get me about the length of the episodes, though. But I get why nothing happens in the first few, because they're still trying to sell that sitcom format. So, and
yeah, okay, but you could easily sell it with the first episode, in my opinion.
Thing is, I think it's going to be
what they're doing with ages.
I think it's going to be pretty much just sitcom-like until the last few episodes, because they've still got all the decades to go through.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing.
Like, they're only on the 60s now, so...
Although, in the trailer, there are some bits that look very 80s, that look a lot more like
I thought they
stuff's
were on
happening.
the 70s already. Didn't they do 50s, 60s?
Yeah, so next episode,
50s,
70s.
60s.
Oh, next one is
70s, yeah.
70s, yeah.
With the introduction of colour, which would be nice.
Yeah.
And I love the kind of like flowy hippie style that they have for the 70s as well. It just like it's very chic and very not chic at all. It's the opposite of chic, but it's very fitting to the era. And I think that they choose for the episodes they've chosen sitcoms that they want to base it off of. So, for example, the 60s was pretty much based off the sitcom Bewitched, which was about the witch housewife. And so all of the way that they filmed that and the way that they showed the magic happening was basically an ode to that, which I love because I love Bewitched
as well, isn't it? The opening was very Bewitched, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the opening was
I had no fucking idea what Bewitched is.
No, that's the thing is I know of the show, but I've never seen it.
Bewitched was also remade into a film with what's her name? She's Australian, I think. I'll look it up and
Scarlett Johansson. She's not Australian though.
And the first episode, I think, was very much an homage to the Dick Van Dyke Show, I believe. With just again each series is very much going to be.
Oi, Mary Poppins! It's Dick Van Dyke.
I wonder if the 90s is going to be very Friends-like.
For what?
For the 90s, when they if they're choosing a sitcom to base it off, they're going to do the 90s. It's kind of got to be Friends.
What will they do for
I don't know.
The 2000s? Big Bang Theory.
Thing is, probably
that's the big one for the 2000s.
It'll probably be very like Big Bang or maybe How I Met Your Mother sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's also
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother would work really well. You can just sort of imagine like Wanda or Vision on the sofa explaining to their kids what happens.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus is actually getting the rights to show How I Met Your Mother on their service, so it would be easier for them to do it.
Yeah,
and not get any copyright infringement from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was... I enjoyed it, honestly. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I just wished that they had released the entire season.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that, though, because they've not got enough on there at the moment. That you get a free week to before you have to start paying, and you can easily binge all the series that you want to watch on there because they've not got a lot, so they just have.
Yeah.
Well,
if you had enough time, you could watch all
the
of
Star Wars ones.
Well, you could watch all of Mandalorian and all of WandaVision easily in a week.
Oh
if
yeah,
you have enough time.
easily. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The Disney Plus stuff, like
the
stuff made. Yeah, the Disney Plus originals definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas with Netflix, they can get away with doing like releasing everything at once because there's so many original series that people would buy the service to watch that a month isn't enough time to watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is kind of shitty on Disney's behalf considering how much money they have.
I know they're developing a lot of stuff. Like by the end of this year, there's going to be ridiculous amount of Disney originals. Got to think, the service hasn't been out.
Well,
that
I'm
long.
not paying because I'm leeching off of Jan's.
Oh, fair enough.
Disney
Well, I'm
Plus
leeching off of
account.
Ginger's, so
Yeah, Violet's
Well, there you
leeching
go.
off me.
So I shouldn't be the one complaining. It should
No.
be Jan complaining.
I mean, I'm
No.
also annoyed they're going to bump the price up in the next couple of months.
Fuck me, I hope not. It's
'Cause
come on, Disney. They have
uh,
so much money.
They've partnered up with another American service called Star, I believe, which is pretty much going to double the amount of content that's already on there. So that's their
I've
argument
never
for
heard
raising
of
it by a couple of quid. Is like, well, you're getting
Okay.
twice as much content as you were getting.
yeah. But what if
But
we
it's
don't want to
all
watch
gonna
that
be
content?
shit. Exactly,
There's
it's all
some
gonna be shit content.
There's some decent
Like
stuff from
what?
what I saw. Well, they get How I Met Your Mother, all the Die Hard films, that new show that came out a while ago called Love Victor, all the old series of Lost, 24, I believe, and that's just a few
Oh
of
boy,
the things.
quality.
They're adding a lot more sort of adult TV shows to sort of bridge the gap, because at the moment most of the service is aimed at younger people.
Mhm.
Yes, like the most adult thing they have is Mando.
Yeah.
No, it's The Simpsons, I think.
Oh yeah, Simpsons or Mandalorian.
Oh no, I
really.
think Mando is more adulty than The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Some episodes of The Simpsons are a bit. Oh, they're adding all the Family Guy.
Some fucking finally.
Yeah.
I never got why they didn't have it on there from the start. Maybe because I know it's on Netflix. I know Family Guy's on Netflix.
Maybe
It's on Netflix for you guys.
yeah,
It's not.
Well, it's on
not
Italian
in the UK.
Netflix.
Ah.
No, it's on Italian.
Lucky, we'll have to get a VPN and watch it in Italian.
I mean, like it's fine.
In a month's time, you can
it's
watch
all
on Disney
like-
Plus.
Well, you don't get any of the newer seasons. And you don't get any of the old ones. You get just like from season 13 to season 15 or like 16, which are all like
It's a bit like South Park on Netflix. You can get the first series, then season 20, 21, and 22.
Literally. Which is so frustrating. By the way, in Italy, South Park is all free on the South Park website.
Nice.
Yeah. Because like it's posted for free by South Park. It's just that in the UK they don't, because I don't know, copyright reasons. I don't know who owns the IP.
It's always a problem of licenses and
distribution and stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's
Which
the
is
same
really
reason why Family Guy is gonna take time to come to Disney Plus.
Which is nice when it gets to Disney Plus, because it'll have all of the seasons and you can rewatch like the old Family Guy.
I want to rewatch the Star Wars parodies.
Yeah. Oh, the Blue Harvest. Isn't it called Blue Harvest?
Blue Harvest, the first one. I don't know what the other. They did Empire Strikes Back and.
Yeah, they did. They did all
Jedi.
three.
They've done all.
Oh
of them.
yeah, I want to I've been rewatching clips on YouTube. I keep getting suggestions for them.
I did find Blue
it's
Harvest
so
the other
funny.
day, and I rewatched Blue
Really?
Harvest, and it was so good. It was part of my
It's so
Star Wars
funny.
kick, was rewatching that as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually seen the other two, so I'm looking forward to
They're
watching.
good. They're good. I love how Meg is always like the shittiest, horrible.
Yeah.
She just shows up for like 5 seconds, and she's whatever.
Yeah,
monster.
literally. In Empire, she's like the slug monster from the asteroid.
Yeah,
And,
in the first one, she's the monster in the trash compactor, and in the last one, she's the monster in the big sand dune on Tatooine.
Oh yeah, the Sarlacc
Yeah.
pit. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the Sarlacc pit.
It's just beautiful, and that's all she gets to do.
Oh, yeah, it's so funny.
Well,
it's
she's
such-
making bank, so it doesn't matter if we all take the piss out of her.
What?
The actress makes bank for it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if we all
Yeah,
take the piss out of her.
Oh, she finds it funny. Apparently, the number one thing, I can't remember what the actress's name is, but literally, the number
Mila
one thing
Kunis.
that she gets yelled out on the street is just "Shut up, Meg."
Shut up, Meg.
Literally, she'll just be walking around and someone will yell at her. She's like, "For fuck's sake."
I mean, yeah, I feel like Blue Harvest and like the entire Family Guy Star Wars is a very good tribute to Star Wars. Because you look at it and it's the proper story. It's done very well.
Yeah.
It gets all the emotions, but all the jokes they slap in are so funny. Like some of them, I love the ones which are just so self-aware to the Star Wars stuff, and it's just like they keep critiquing the faults in the Death Star.
Yeah.
Or just Stewie as Darth Vader is the gold.
And my favourite one in there is when they're just like, hold your fire. There's that pod has no life signs in it, and the guy's just like, what? Are we paying by the laser now? Just like, why don't we just shoot it down? Just like, you don't do the budget, Greg. I do.
No, it's when they're in Empire Strikes Back. They're in the thing inside the slug monster in the asteroid, and it's just, you know how Han goes in Empire. He shoots the ground and goes, wait a second.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. And then there's just Peter doing it for like 5 times. And he goes, wait a second. Pew! And the thing shakes. Hang on a minute. Pew! Shakes again. Wait a second. He keeps doing it for like 5 minutes. Oh boy.
We always quote that.
Literally, yeah. Me and John always quote that like amongst ourselves when we're together. Oh boy.
I look forward to seeing the rest. I think I started the Empire Strikes Back, but I never finished it.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, so yeah, WandaVision. We all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What about
I didn't enjoy the first 2 episodes.
Did you not?
I think it was too much.
Did you see them?
Yeah, I saw both.
Oh, okay.
2 episodes. I didn't like the nostalgia effect of the 60s in America, and the idea of the new home, the job, the cooking in the kitchen, and everything.
Why?
And I don't know. It's like there's some things that are better off left in the past and not brought back, I think.
To be fair, it is a reminiscence of a not great, actually that great time.
Yeah.
Though it gets remembered very fondly, and it's just like, oh yeah, but remember all the racism, sexism, homophobia, and all this shit that was going on at the same time.
But anyway.
So yeah, what games have you guys been playing? Anything new? I have been playing something new.
What have you been playing?
Tell us about it.
Well, so surprisingly, like a week ago, there was on sale on Uplay of all places, which is even more dead than Origin. And you know that you need to like screw up really bad to be even more dead than EA's platform. And so yeah, on Uplay, which is now called Ubisoft Connect, which is not a better name, but has a nicer like design. Anyway, they were really cheap, the Assassin's Creed games, like really, really cheap. So I decided I'd never played the first one, so I decided to buy the first one for like €3, and fuck me, it's dated.
Oh yeah, it's painful to play.
Oh, it's painful to play. It's painful to play, honestly. Like the story is bad. the gameplay is clunky and like very slow. Not too slow, but there's not much. Like it's not structured in a way. There's this whole open world where you do nothing except for the activities you have to do to progress the story. Like you could do all the viewpoints, but why?
All the collectibles are a pain.
There's a million flags to collect, but why would you do that?
I can never find any of them.
Oh, I didn't.
There's like 100 in each map, and I'm just like, I found 2 throughout the entire game.
It's so bad. Also, frustratingly, when you jump, halfway through your jump off a building, your momentum stops, and you just stop midway through the air and just drop down.
Very Wile E. Coyote jumping off something.
Literally, it's so fucking stupid.
I remember the whole thing of you go through all this effort to like collect these like things that might help you to kill the baddie, but it's like, well, actually, you never use any of them. You just run like crazy, stab him, and then run like crazy away. Like I tried to be clever and use the maps to figure out where to go, and I'm like, I give up halfway through, and just
no, exactly. There's no point. Honestly, there's no point. Even worse, the game called Assassin's Creed, how do you kill the last 4 enemies in a fight? Like, you can't avoid them. you're
just have to
automatically
fight.
drops into a fight, and you're like, great, amazing. Assassin's Creed. We
Mhm.
love fighting.
Very
with
little
swords.
assassinations.
Yeah, there's very little assassination in Assassin's Creed.
And
So yeah,
the
it's
end. Have you finished it?
yeah, I finished it. I've
The
started
ending
playing
just
it.
ends up being, oh yeah, it's all magic and shit. Just like,
What do you mean?
Well, the end with the whole Apple of Eden
Oh,
thing.
with the Apple of Eden, yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? Like,
it's also a very cryptic ending, yeah. It's
Yeah.
very much
oh, the next
spoiler
games
alert for
don't
a
get
12-year-old game.
The next
Oh yeah,
games
Assassin's
get
Creed 2 is the
even
best one.
worse of like the ridiculousness of the story.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you shitting on Assassin's Creed 2?
I-
Don't you fucking dare.
The whole,
Don't you
the
fucking
actual
dare.
game itself is amazing.
It's a
And
masterpiece.
the story
is a masterpiece.
The story is good until it starts talking about like the not forerunners. You know what I mean? Like the ancient race of super smart.
Yeah, but they
intelligent-
barely talk about it in
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed
But
2.
that's fair. Like I just don't like that part of it. I like
they talk a bit about
historical
it
bit.
in Brotherhood,
Mhm.
and then I don't know. I haven't played Revelations. I need to play that, and I can't remember for the other games. It went a bit off track later, but anyway. Speaking of one, yeah, it has an ending that is very confusing. You fight. Spoiler alert once again for a 12-year-old game. Trust me, you want the spoiler. The main assassin, the main big, your master betrays you.
Mhm.
He is the bad guy in the end for reasons.
Yeah,
It's not very clear why.
I know.
And yeah, it's you fight him and yeah, that's it. Literally.
And you win.
I got the Ezio. Is it Ezio collection?
The Ezio collection.
And I was going to replay the first one. I played for like half an hour. I was like, you know what? Normally I like to play the previous games first, but I'm just jumping straight into 2.
Oh yeah, I've started playing 2 now, like today. My God, it's an improvement.
Yeah, I've done the first one once and never again.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do it again ever. I wanted to do it just because I enjoy the Assassin's Creed series. I enjoyed the original one and wanted to see. I didn't know anything except for the fact that the master betrays you. So I didn't even get the pleasure of the plot twist out of that. So yeah, there is nothing to do.
My first Assassin's Creed game was Brotherhood, and I think I was about 15 at the time, because I was never allowed games before like the age rating. So as soon as I turned 15, I was like, right, I want a 15 game, and it was just the first one I saw, and I was like, that looks fun. Got it.
It's a fun game.
Banging.
It's a good game.
Must have been a bit confusing though, because it really just jumps in right at the end of 2.
It jumps in
like I had
from
no
2.
clue what was going on, but I'm like, oh, stabby, this is fun.
Because
it's fun,
you start off in like that weird vault thing, don't you?
Well, I think so. And you start off. Well, no, you start off with Ezio having sex with Caterina Sforza.
Oh yeah.
And
and then you go back to.
And then the castle gets bombed by Cesare Borgia, and then you go to Rome, and you need help from Leonardo.
I might actually go through the Ezio collection because I never finished it.
It's worth it. It's what I'm gonna do now because
I think it's because I finished the second one, and by that point I'd played so much Assassin's Creed. I was like, you know what, I want a bit of a break, and just never got back into playing it.
Brotherhood is really good. They did a lot of improvements from. So 2, in my opinion, is the best one in the franchise. By far. Despite the fact that it doesn't have all those gameplay improvements they introduced in Brotherhood, this plot, the characterization, the entire story, and the improvements in gameplay they did from 1 were sufficient and were so good that it's just a masterful tale, in my opinion. It's beautiful. The ambience is amazing. Florence and Venice. They look like you can go around in a gondola. There's all this web of Templars you need to kill, and just to get to the main big bad guy, which you know is Rodrigo Borgia, and it's just really cool. Except for the final fight, which is a bit, it's not bad, but it's a bit like you just fist fight him, which is all right. But no, I think it's really, really good. Brotherhood did all these upgrades, and they added way more like side game content, as in like you could buy all the palaces and build your own like become a Roman magnate. Magnate.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Billionaire.
I was just like, what is he on about?
Becoming like this big Roman billionaire, like
Yeah.
big guy on the block, and like develop like the assassins network, and you can hire assassins. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Well, you've played it, and I haven't played Revelations. And then came 3, which was boring.
I've only tried like the first few. I've not tried 3 yet.
I mean, it's not bad. It's like the first 4 sequences are good because you don't play as the main guy. When you get to Connor, you're a bit like, huh, so this is the main guy. He's a bit shit. He's a bit flat as a character.
Yeah.
What I've seen has gone really downhill, like in the last few that they released.
Actually, they're saying from Origin onwards,
Yeah, I heard Origin was
they
good.
have improved though.
But apparently they're very
I must
different.
have just read some like controversial reviews then.
Well, I know. So I know. What's it called? So I know it went like this. They have the Ezio collection, which was Assassin's Creed 2 had a peak. So Assassin's Creed 1, it was the first one in the franchise, so people were still like, oh, okay, this is new. It was a new concept, so it was cool. Assassin's Creed 2, much better. Everything improved. Amazing. Best one. Brotherhood, not a plot as strong as 2, but nice improvement, so it made a really good game from that point of view, gameplay-wise. Revelations, I know a lot of people were a bit like, okay, it's Ezio again, which we like, but it's also the same formula. We're getting a bit tired of this. Then Assassin's Creed 3 came out, which was confusing, and you don't get to play as the main character until like halfway through the game. So, and also the whole setting of the American Independence War was a bit like cool, but nah.
I like the look of the one set in Victorian London.
Syndicate, yeah, that's very good.
That looks
so
really
after 3, they did Black Flag, which is that's a very controversial one because the community is very split because half of the people love it, which I did, because it's a pirate simulator. It's not an Assassin's Creed game. It's a pirate simulator. There is still a bit of assassin-y stuff, but Edward he becomes a good assassin at the end. But he's a very shit assassin throughout the entire thing. He's a great pirate. He's a shit assassin. And the best thing is just roaming the Caribbean with on your ship as a pirate, like raiding all the ships. That's great. And then there was Unity, which was a bad plot and riddled with bugs.
Yeah,
it was basically
there was the same bug problem in Black Flag in the 4th.
That's true.
At launch, it had many bugs.
Yeah,
and
but Unity was way more.
The problem for Unity and for Black Flag was that at launch it had many bugs, like many other Ubisoft games at the time.
Classic Ubisoft. Yeah, no, I remember Assassin's Creed 4 had a few bugs, but Unity. I remember when Unity came out.
Yeah.
And even when they were delivering like the copies for reviewers and stuff like that.
I pre-ordered it. It was my first Assassin's Creed. I bought the collector's edition and I launched it. Like I took it from GameStop and I launched it and I found my character in the middle of the floor, like through the floor.
Oh, I love it when bugs like
After
that happen.
2 minutes of playing.
I remember you showing me. You sent me a video of you just flying through the floor. I was like, great. We love a AAA game.
I've had that with a few games. I replayed Dragon Age Origins ages ago, and literally you load it up every so often, and I was just completely out of the map. And ended
Dragon Age Origins, come on.
And then I was running around, and I ended up floating above where my marker was and stuff, and it was really fun to see like how they make the environment look from a distance, like the special tricks they do to like make things look more like much bigger maps and stuff. But it was
YouTube channel which does
Boundary Break.
Boundary Break, yeah.
I
Which
love that.
Explains it's so cool. They show all they do it with the Arkham games. The one with the Arkham games is so cool how they do all the tricks.
I've watched loads of them. I like the Kingdom Hearts ones, or I like all of them really. If it's a game I've played, I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, because you get to see all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, after Unity, they also released Assassin's Creed Rogue, which was the one for old gen consoles, so for PS3 and Xbox One, which was basically you're not a pirate, but you still have a ship, and you play as a Templar. But people didn't take it too much in consideration because Unity was the big one. So this was kind of like a side one. But I heard that Rogue is actually a good game. So I haven't played it. I should play it. And yeah, after that, the one you said about Victorian London is Syndicate.
Yeah.
Which, once again, I really much enjoyed it. Because the setting is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking is I really like the idea of where it's set. Like I feel like that would be really fun to explore.
It's also quite steampunky.
Yeah.
And it's very fun. I have replayed it twice. So I do enjoy it because the setting is very well done. The plot is okay. It's not the worst. But it's also it's kind of forgettable, but not as forgettable as other ones. And the characters are kind of interesting. Jacob and Evie Fry. The cool thing is that you get to switch between them, and they have two kind of different. The play styles aren't that different. They get different max level abilities, but you can easily play with both of them in the same way. But it's cool. They do look a bit different, and you do get to do different kinds of missions with them, and they have different personalities. So yeah, that's fun. And but yeah, it's I enjoyed it, but a lot of people were getting sick of the Assassin's Creed formula in the sense of the combat and the way you approach encounters and how assassinations had become very streamlined to the point that in Syndicate, literally there was a suggested path, and you could, if you did the suggested path, you got a cool cinematic, but it was literally just a cinematic with a QuickTime event.
Okay.
So you're like, okay, well, I'm not really killing him, I'm pressing a button.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Syndicate. It's still a fun one. And then they revamped, because do you remember in that period they were releasing a yearly Assassin's Creed game?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and so they decided to stop that, and then they did Origins, where they revamped the entire combat and everything. And it's I know they made it into a bit of a more Souls-like game, where
RPG.
you're not like, yeah, exactly, an RPG Souls-like game where you actually need to do a bit of min-maxing and dodging. Enemies can kill you. And I want to play those just because they're different, apparently. They did Origins and Odyssey, which got okay reviews. And then they released right now Valhalla, which looks different. They all just look... The thing is, they don't feel very much like Assassin's Creed games.
Anymore.
I don't know. They don't really give me the vibe of us. Especially now that they've just removed the hood. They've just said, fuck it. You don't even get to keep the hood, which is great. It's amazing. That was the distinguishing feature, but sure. They're probably going to take out the hidden blade since we're at... No, I'm joking. They probably won't. But they did switch it in Valhalla. It's on top rather than on the bottom. Anyway, I've ranted enough about Assassin's Creed.
That's fair enough. Yeah, it's very good games. I will need to carry on playing them at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, what did you guys play?
Back onto Marvel, I got the Avengers game, finally.
Oh, yeah, was it shit?
No, that's the thing, is I thought... I read all the reviews and, like, everyone was saying how shit it was, to be honest, and I was like, you know what? I've just got paid, I kind of want to buy a game. And I was in a bit of a Marvel kick after Wandavision, so I got it. And it was... It's actually a lot of fun. And a lot longer than I was expecting. I thought I was going to have finished it by now, but it's still going. I barely even started it.
How is the game? Is the gameplay like balanced in the sense that is it just you running around as like do you get to play a consistent amount with each hero or?
Yeah. So some missions it's very much you have to play as this hero for the story, which is fair enough. And then other times it's like okay. you can choose who you play, and you can also bring a couple of people along to help you out. And you're slowly unlocking more and more Avengers, like you're reassembling the team. So the very first like tutorial level is you play a little bit as every single hit of the Avengers. Then Miss Marvel becomes like the main protagonist for a little while, and it's her sort of trying to reassemble the Avengers.
The Assemblers.
The assembled it's too many words.
Vindicators 3.
Yes. So the game starts off is shit's happening. She has to escape, and first person you get is the Hulk. So for a few missions, it's just you. It's Miss Marvel and the Hulk. Sometimes you have to play as one, but sometimes you can choose who you're playing as. I've just unlocked Iron Man as well. And we're sort of.
But the most important question.
Yeah.
Is it, as we say in Italy, a big binarione, meaning a big railroad?
Not as railroady as I was expecting.
Okay.
Like, it's still pretty railroad. Like, there are, like, specific... Well, actually, there are a lot of, like, side missions you can do. So there's the main missions. There's, like, a war table, and it's like, okay, this is the main mission to carry on the story, but here's some other, like, things that are going on in the world that you can go and take care of. And they're releasing...
How important are
But
they?
they're also... some of them... I haven't done many of them. I'm sort of focusing on the story, but they're releasing, like, story packs. There's a specific one that's, like, Hulk's looking for some specific person. I can't remember what her name was, but I think it's from the comics. One is, like, the baddies have created, like, a giant arc reactor that they're using for nefarious reasons or something. I don't know. I didn't read the descriptions fully. And they're releasing more and more... like mini campaigns and extra characters into the series as it goes along. So far it's pretty good, and it's quite fun. I remember seeing the trailers, and for Iron Man, the very first time you play as him, it's very much a railroad sort of, you just fly in a straight line shooting.
Railroad.
But then actually when you start playing the game, it's more of an open map, and you can just fly around however you want. Which is fun. It's nice to actually get to fly around as Iron Man however you want.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I really wanted. So it's not nowhere near as open as like an Arkham game or anything, or like Spider-Man. But it's still, as I said, a lot less railroady than I was expecting.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah,
which is nice.
But it's a good game. I would actually recommend it. And like I've played a good few hours on it, and I'm still not even got all the Avengers together again. So there's still more to go.
Avengers. Assemble!
I've still got Thor, Captain America, and Black Widow to rescue. So, well, not rescue, reassemble.
And once you reassemble, what happens?
Yeah.
Well, there's like AIM is the main antagonist in this series, so like that organization.
Anus?
AIM.
Oh.
I said AIM is.
I understood anus.
So they're the main. That sort of group is like there was a big event that happened, and a bunch of people basically got superpowers because of something that went wrong. So AIM is like kidnapping them, trying to steal their powers, and your goal is to stop them from doing that, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
That's pretty much all I've been playing recently.
And the gameplay, it's varied from each hero. It's different. From each hero.
It's a little like it's very much sort of just a beat 'em up game, but all of them have unique powers and different combos and stuff like that, which is fun. So, like Hulk is literally you just go around, you just punch things. You can pick up rocks from the ground and throw them at enemies. You've got Miss Marvel. Her abilities are super stretch or whatever. So, like their powers are somewhat different. Not like they all have like a couple of powers, and that's about it. Iron Man's the best one so far because you can change from like he either uses like his repulsor gloves, or he uses rockets, or he uses his lasers and stuff. And that like you can change between all of those, and it changes what like your regular punch and like heavy attack does and everything.
Okay.
You can also turn into the Hulkbuster armor, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fun.
It's
Nice.
Each of them have their like special move.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I wish they just made a game about Iron Man.
Yeah,
Just
that
come on.
I would have happily an
Come
Arkham
on.
game, but as Iron Man would have been amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, We know he's the guy everyone wants to play as. Who cares about fucking Hulk or Captain America?
Because
My
at the
girlfriend
beginning.
loves Captain America.
Oh God, really?
Boy, he's so
The actor?
boring.
Oh boy.
He's so boring.
Is it because steroids?
Yeah, probably.
It's because of America's ass.
Literally. No,
That
come
is
on,
the
he's
only,
so boring. How
Yeah, I
boring
know.
is Captain America? He has
Oh
a
my-
shield, great.
Wait, was
he
she
throws
on-
the shield, he loses the shield.
Was she
great.
on Team Cap? If so, no offense to her because I love her to bits, but dump her.
Yeah, I'm considering it.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you said
joking,
that.
I'm joking. It's fine, she doesn't listen to the podcast. She doesn't care.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we can say all sorts of shit about her now. Except I
Yeah.
wouldn't because she's great.
And then we find out she listens to.
She
Then we
listens.
find
She's
out-
the,
this episode.
turns out she's the only person who watches our podcast.
It's fine, we can just tell her it's about Star Wars and that we're all Star Wars fans because she
Oh, yeah.
hates Star Wars fans. She absolutely hates them.
Oh wow.
She called me a dirty Star Wars fan today. Not a dirty. Okay, no, she didn't call me. She did compare me to like one of those greasy Star Wars fans. And it was like
Oh no.
rude. I actually got quite offended. I was like, "Excuse me, you know I'm not like that."
Not surprised you
don't
got
know.
offended.
Well, yeah, because basically, because we always get into this argument saying about who, like, what we consider a fan of something.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, like, you call yourself a fan when you've actually consumed, like, a lot of media or, like, you're very invested in something.
Mhm.
Well, and she says, oh, no, if you like anything, you can be a fan of it. And I'm like, well... Like in my opinion, I view like the term fan as like a scale. So where at the bottom it's like, oh, I don't care about something, and then there's like, oh, I enjoy something, I like something, and then I'm a fan of something. For example, I like Lord of the Rings,
Mhm.
but I don't know enough of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that invested in it to
Mhm.
call myself a fan, because there's people who are way more invested in it than me, and I'm not like them, so I'm not a fan of it. Like I'm not that invested into something to call myself a fan. Whilst with Star Wars, I'm very invested in it, or Skyrim, where I have over 1,000 hours on it. I'm a fan of both those things because I know them very well and I'm very invested in them. Whilst in her opinion, if you like something, you can call yourself a fan, which are very contrasting opinion. And she compares me to like the screeching grease balls that are the Star Wars fans. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
The screeching Star Wars fans that hate Kelly Marie Tran and all those.
The ones that'll
know.
have a hissy fit if you don't say Han shot first or something.
Yeah. Or yeah, let's say, oh, if you like Solo, you're not a true Star Wars fan. Of course, I'm not someone like that.
Yeah.
Like, I you can have your own opinion on Star Wars by all means. Like, as we discussed last week, we all have different opinions, but we all had a civil conversation, and we were all Star Wars fans having a civil conversation.
Yeah.
None of us were greaseballs. Sorry, I call the term greaseballs. It's not very nice.
It's not very
But come
PC, I'm sure.
But come on, go on the inside.
I know what you mean,
Those
yeah.
are the people you'll find. Like I've seen the incel forums, and those are the people, and they're all mean. They're all bad people. So no, I'm generalizing once again. They're not all. I'm sure they're not all bad people. But I mean, if you do actively call yourself an incel and agree with their terms, I'm not gonna get political. Well, it's not political, but I mean,
I do
they're not the nicest of people.
I do understand what you mean about whether someone's a fan. I get
if you go into the activity of actually policing
yeah,
fanship, of course,
Yeah.
that's not nice. That's not okay.
but I always get a little angsty when someone says that like a big well, it's when they say they're a big Kingdom Hearts fan and they've played the main 3 games. That pisses me off a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
say
see what I mean.
I can be like, yes, you like Kingdom Hearts. Maybe you do enjoy the games, but don't say you're like a massive Kingdom Hearts fan but then say you played the first three.
That's what I say with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she says, and she criticizes me because I say, oh, well, if you can't call yourself really a massive Star Wars fan unless you consumed a lot of their media. Because it pisses me off too, because I'm like, well, I mean...
I feel like with some things, something like Star Wars, I think you could say you're a fan of Star Wars if you've seen the films.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's fine. But I find it annoying when people say, oh, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. What have you watched? Oh, the original trilogy. Well...
You can say I'm a big fan of the original trilogy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You can say, I'm a big fan of the original trilogy. I like the prequel. I'm a fan of the prequels.
No one has ever said that in history.
That's a controversial one. I'm a fan of the sequels. That's an even more controversial statement. And but yeah, no. A fan, in my opinion, if you say I'm a big Star Wars fan, you should have watched a considerable amount of media, because it pisses me off kind of, because I mean I've put all the effort in it, and then someone comes around saying, well, this is bad, or like the really annoying statements that I always get. Rey was the first female Jedi. Excuse me? Excuse me?
No.
Where are we throwing Ahsoka? Down the fucking drain? Which has a way better character arc than Rey.
Oh god, Rey. Actually, I didn't mind her that much, to be fair.
I don't hate her. I just think she's poorly written. But we discussed this last week. The entire sequels trilogy is poorly written. Let's not start again. I can feel the Star Wars rant starting again.
Yeah,
it'll take another hour and a half.
We've already shit on Star Wars enough that none of us are ever going to get hired for their movies in the future.
Literally, yeah. Literally.
Well, why? If you criticize it enough.
That is true.
There's the right things if you say the right things are wrong.
True.
That is true.
It's good anyway.
Look at Dave Filoni. Praise Master Filoni and Jon
That is
Favreau.
true.
Praise Master Filoni and Jon Favreau. But yeah, apart from that, that was us going into a tangent.
Just talking about your relationship.
No, but
issues,
what are your guys' opinions? Because I kept ranting.
Wait, what's
on
the
my
original
view.
point?
Oh yeah, that's a good
what
question.
Would you consider a fan of something?
Yeah, like what do you consider the term fan? What would you apply it to? So my original point was it's a scale where the bottom is you don't care about it. There's like enjoying something, liking something, and being a fan at the top.
I think it's a difference between whether you seek out information about it or whether you'll just enjoy it like passively. So if someone said to you, "Oh, we're gonna watch Avengers," and you enjoy it, I'd say that you like it. But if you actively seek out, maybe you seek out to watch it again on your own, or you seek out more information from the internet or something like that, I say that you're allowed to describe yourself as a fan then, because you're putting effort into enjoying it, if you know what I mean. Whereas if someone just someone shows you a film, you're like, yeah, it's alright, it's good, I like that, but you're not pursuing that further. I don't know whether that's the same thing.
No, I hadn't thought about it that way, and it's a very interesting topic, because I think that's a good way to put it, to justify what me and Ginja were saying before, in the sense of it pisses us off, because we actively seek information about it. Then someone calls himself a fan, is like, oh yeah, I'm a fan, and like, well, you don't really seek information from it.
Yeah,
you're clearly not putting in the same amount of effort as I am.
And
so I guess that's why I find it.
It's fair enough, because I think also always annoys me, especially actually, is when people say, I mean, it is confusing, that people are like, oh, the series is shit because it's so, like, nothing makes any sense. Well, I'm like, well, you actually played the rest of them, it would make a lot more sense. Maybe not complete sense. It's still very confusing and messed up. But if you actually took the time to sort of look into other aspects of it, you'd realise, okay, this is actually a lot better and well thought out than you might think.
But people who say that, do they call themselves fan?
I've had people say that they're huge fans of the games and they've only played like the first two. And there are 10 Kingdom Hearts games.
But do they say also that they're inconsistent and they don't understand anything?
I've had a bit of both. Well, some people have played 2 and said that the first 2 have been like, oh, it makes no sense or it's shit. Or some people say they played the first 2 and they loved it, and it's both of them are a bit like, well, you've not really scratched the surface of what the series is.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think
But
it's
I
interesting.
think it's important to understand that you cannot compare yourself to them. If you do so. Like, if you don't like them because they're not as you, like you, I think that's wrong as an idea.
Yeah.
But you can point them out
Yeah.
if they don't understand enough to call themselves a fan, and maybe point them to the right direction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a very good mentality. I agree. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. No, I feel like that's it's yeah, but I think what I mean is like people who maybe call themselves a fan, and even if you'd point them to the right direction and where they could go and look, they don't want to actively go and look at it because they don't. In the end, they don't care that much about it. That's the point. That's the thing that slightly annoys me, whereas. Where I am actively, if someone would tell me, "Oh, look at this! There's this piece of Star Wars media which is great, and maybe I don't know about. For example, I haven't read any of the Star Wars novels. I've read half of Darth Plagueis, but I haven't read the Throne trilogy or any of the other stuff. And basically, yeah, and if someone would tell me, read also this is really good if you want to expand yourself on expand your Star Wars knowledge, I'd be like, oh great, yeah, we'll do that. If you'd say to the other individuals I'm referring to, they'd probably be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main difference about like being a fan.
I guess it can also affect from your point of view, because I thought I was a massive fan of Kingdom Hearts, and I was streaming it the other day, and this guy comes in, and he just knows an obscene amount of stuff. I was so like, he was telling me all these like fan theories, all this like stuff that the writer's cleverly done, pointing me to like a 300-page essay on the game, and I was just like, I thought I was a fan, but boy, he's taken it to another level.
No, but I don't think being a fan is the amount of stuff you know about something. I think, as Violet put it, and also John, it's more about like how willing you are to learn more about the franchise, how willing you are to expand your horizons about the franchise. For example, a friend of mine, he's probably watched the prequels once or twice because he doesn't really enjoy them. He doesn't like them that much, and I'm like, fine. That's your opinion. That's stuff you like. That's absolutely fine. But I told him, oh, you should really play Jedi Fallen Order. It's really good. It's a really well done game. You'd really enjoy it because he really likes the original trilogy and like the stuff they do with Star Wars or Mandalorian. And I told him, trust me, watch those, you'll enjoy them. Play Jedi Fallen Order, you'll enjoy it. And he actually did. He went and played it, and he enjoyed it. And that's why I would consider him a fan, because he actually he actually got invested in it, and he sought out this wider knowledge.
I think in the end, it's not a race.
Oh no, absolutely, it's not a race. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I feel like it's how you're invested, how willingly. I agree with Violet's point, and
because if you truly enjoy something, like you can still enjoy it and say that you enjoyed it, But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're interested in hearing more information about it. Doesn't mean you ever
Yeah.
really want to watch the film again, or maybe like far into the future you might, if you know. But it's if you actively seek out the enjoyment of it, and you find enjoyment in like rewatching it or replaying it or finding out more information or doing all the fan theories or even like coming up with it your own, maybe even like like doing your own form of like fan art or fan fiction or something for it, I'd say that you can class yourself as a fan.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree, definitely. Yeah,
And
oh yeah. What were you
as
saying?
a fan, I think you shouldn't be discouraged if a friend of yours, a guy you meet, like saw the movie, the book you really like, and said like, I don't like it very much or whatever.
Mm.
You shouldn't be sad or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
I
important.
agree. I think it's that's a very wise view. Yeah, like in the end,
It's a pit you could fall into.
yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, that leads to all the greaseball hating fans that we were talking about before, that live in their mother's basement and and don't do anything all day except for.
You're generalizing a whole group of people here.
That is true. Hey, I'm a nerd too. I can do that. I've been compared to that, so I'm allowed to do it.
Oh, it just went really. I thought my internet disconnected for a second. It just went quiet. Hello.
Oh, it might have done because we
Oh,
were
okay.
talking.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
we
Then yeah, my internet died. Then sorry, guys.
We were talking again about the screechy Star Wars fan.
Oh, okay. I thought that we just had a really awkward silence. I think my internet just cut out for a few seconds.
No, it probably was your internet.
All right, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. But yeah, well, that's interesting. I like the debate this week. But yeah, did you, Violet or John? Did you play anything worth?
Nothing new.
No,
Nothing
new
new.
my end.
Yeah.
There was an update to Phasmophobia,
Oh, really?
Oh.
which was fun. The ghost now during the hunt tracks your voice.
Oh god.
Oh.
So even if you're using push to talk and you don't put down the push to talk button, the ghost can still hear you and come
Oh.
towards you. So you've got to now relearn. It makes the game harder basically for. It did become a bit. I'm not going to say monotonous, but it's just you knew the meta, which was break line of sight, and like just all like body block round tables or something like that. Try and outrun the ghost. But now that they can follow the sound of your voice, breaking line of sight doesn't cut it. So you've got to still figure out how to like get round that whole aspect of it. Which is nice that they're adding more to it, just to change the dynamic a bit.
That's cool. Yeah,
I have to
that's
re-download the
nice.
game. So I haven't played it for ages.
Yeah.
It's for me. It was like a lot of games that I've played recently that have just been the sort of fad game for ages and then just sort of kind of died out. Like remember when we were all playing Fall Guys?
Oh, I never picked that up. But Phasmophobia is like my kind of game, and I was actually really sad that people stopped playing because I was like, I actually really enjoy this, you know.
I get really annoyed because I keep putting off buying these games because I know they're gonna stop being played really quickly, but then I end up caving, getting them, and then they end up people stop playing them.
It's your touch, Ginger. It's your touch that causes the game to die.
Yeah.
I've got a theory about why video games, like video game fads, are dying so quickly at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think because we're in lockdown in lots of places, people aren't going out as much, it means that they've got more time to play video games, which means they've got more time to go off them, whereas usually people would be going to school, they'd be going out and working, they'd be doing other things during the day, so they'd come home, they'd enjoy it,
Yeah.
So that the process of the game becoming uncool or it becoming like boring is sped up because of the amount of time that's being focused on to playing it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fall Guys was one that came out, was big, died immediately.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Among Us is still going on a little bit, at least.
Yeah,
Among
but
Us is still
it's only
going
with
on.
younger children. I find younger children
Yeah.
and some YouTubers who got onto it a little bit late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know a few of my
either
friend
you play
groups
with
still
your
play
friends
it.
or you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play it alone.
I don't see people streaming it much anymore.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
But that's usually how I can tell if a fad of a game's stopped, is how many people on my like follow channels bit are still playing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the life cycle
Mhm.
of a game in the end. Of a multiplayer game, like all the famous multiplayer games that are still played, they were played by many, many more people at their peak.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But now they're
Yeah.
stabilized.
I agree. Yeah, because if you look at the main ones, League of Legends,
Mhm.
Lego Legolas,
And maybe they reach a peak
Overwatch,
if they with a new expansion, a new
Yeah.
big update. They
World of Warcraft. That's a big one. That's still that is the biggest one. We say League. Oh, actually, I'm curious. I'll look at the player base. Let's see.
Yeah,
League of Legends.
the idea of putting an expansion every
Okay, no. Okay, never mind. It's way higher for League of Legends than World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Actually, I was just looking on
Okay.
Twitch. To be fair, right now there are still about 5,500 people watching Fall Guys streams.
Oh.
Hmm.
which
How
is
many people are watching Phasmophobia? Because last time I checked, it was 9,000.
Let me have a
Early
look.
today, it was 9,000, but I think that was also because Nazgard
10,000.
was streaming. Oh, 10,000. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what games people are streaming. I think stuff like Dead by Daylight's always been popular on Twitch.
Mhm. It's because Dead by Daylight is a game that's popular amongst the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Really?
I don't know why, but it is.
I don't know why, but it is. It's big for. It's the game that's streamed the most by drag queens.
Yeah,
Oh.
So
like looking at Dead by Daylight right now. Currently, the first few are like say either LGBT or drag.
like the
Like-
biggest one.
Why?
I don't know, but
Nothing wrong
I've
with
seen,
it, but-
I've seen a lot. I see a lot of drag queens doing it, to be honest, and a lot
I
of
don't see.
Mhm.
I don't see
streamers
where the
I've
trend
met
is.
have been LGBT people playing Dead by Daylight. I don't know
Where's
what
the
it is about the game.
connection?
No,
I
I
think
don't know.
it allows a bit more of a. Until recently, I think it allowed a bit more of a. You can project a bit more onto these characters, but also it's a bit. It's not just your standard
it's a
shooter as
multiplayer
well.
game.
Like lots of horror games are a single player. I think it was something that was vaguely different when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
Although it did build ideas off of other games, because it's an asymmetric horror game. There are lots of those around. And I think also they've been aided in the fact that they've got lots of different licensed killers and licensed characters.
Yeah,
so you get
yeah,
audiences in from those, those franchises. So they brought in the Halloween one, they brought in the Saw one, they brought in
Yeah,
the Nightmare on Elm
There's
Street.
there's Billy the Puppet in it.
What, sorry?
There's
This-
Billy. I didn't know there was Billy the Puppet in it.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
from
the guy from Saw.
Billy. Oh, no,
It's the pig.
the pigs. Yeah,
Which pig? There's a pig?
His apprentice in the second. It's either the second or third one.
Oh, I haven't.
Who wears the
seen
pig
the
mask?
second one.
Mhm.
Oh.
But
I
they've got
haven't seen it.
Stranger Things people in it
Yeah,
as well.
that was a big one.
Mm.
And they're always
Oh.
adding new. They're probably going to get a new license
Is the
one soonish.
Demigorgon?
Mm.
Demigorgon. Right?
Gordon.
There's been rumours of Resident Evil for ages.
Yeah.
Oh, they recently got Silent Hill.
Oh, who?
That was good. So you got Pyramid Head.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Pyramid Head is cool.
It's actually one of my favourite ones to play as, other than Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my favourite one to do. I need to play Dead by Daylight again.
Freddy.
I don't
Krueger.
like the concept of running away from the monster or the monster hunting,
Really? Why?
both as players and the same as similar to Among Us. Like the idea that a
Yeah.
player has to hunt other player or trick other players.
I don't mind
kill.
that. I don't like the thing I don't like about Among Us is the fact that when you die, you just sit there. Especially
Yeah.
because usually you're playing with your friends and you die and you're like the first time you die, the first guy to get killed, you're just like, brilliant! I didn't do anything this game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me wait. Let me wait 12 minutes, 10 minutes till the next game, and I'm like, great. That's 10 minutes of my life wasted.
Well, you still have to go around doing the tasks.
Yeah, but
it's not a
the
lot
bit-
to do though.
Exactly. Like,
It could be. It's just building off that basic like Mafia or
yeah.
what was it called, like werewolves or something
Werewolf.
like that. Yeah, just that basic game that you'd play as children, or like even as adults sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's putting that into a computer format. So it's provided a different spin on it. I think it's nice that it's not just it doesn't tell the storyline bit though, so it's got other stuff for you to do instead. Whereas there are other games that do it, like oh my goodness, I can't. Towns of Salem is the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Town of
Very
Salem is
similar
werewolf.
concept.
Mm-hmm. So it just but that has a different way of doing it. It builds the story around it more rather than giving you things to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that's an interesting concept. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry. Whilst we were chatting, I was editing not editing, like editing on inserting the title and the description for the podcast, which is coming out today or tomorrow. John, when is it coming out?
In 1 hour.
In an hour, great. And and I called it "The Senate Will Decide the Sequel's Fate." I was like,
Peaceful.
I'm a genius.
Very
That's
beautiful.
a good title.
I'm a genius, right, guys? Am I right, guys?
Oh yes, of
Sure.
course.
Of course.
A genius.
A genius.
Genius.
The Senate. That's not a bad name.
New name
We
for the
can't-
You can go
podcast.
home.
We can't go around calling us the Senate.
You can go home feeling proud of this
Yeah.
title.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I'll send you the link to
Oh,
what
please, let's call
I'm
us
doing
the
starting
Senate.
tomorrow to add to it. If that's all right.
The what?
Because I'll mention it now because I should think wrapping up soon, I assume. But
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
we're wrapping up.
this is going to come out too late, pretty much for people. I'm going to be on the last day of it, but I'm doing charity streams for the next week or so, just to
Nice.
give me something
For
to do.
what?
So, the Red Cross charity, they're doing this big fundraising campaign called Operation Loneliness. So, it's helping tackle loneliness specifically during COVID.
They have a
Oh.
few things that they're funding, so they've got
Yeah.
teams which will go into the community and help bring people together, so that they know people nearby, they know what activities that they can go to if they need, if they want to meet new people. They've got
Yeah.
a helpline, like a support number that I think was the most called COVID emergency number or something like that, apart from like the medical one. And they've helped over like 12,000 people or something like that
Mhm.
through it. They've also got a program where they teach people who are at risk of being lonely how to use phones and technology to communicate with people, because a lot of people, especially elder people, don't know how to do that. They can also provide phones for people, and they will completely set it up and teach them how to use it. And they've also put a lot of money into putting more online resources out there. So more advice on dealing with negative thoughts, mindfulness, how to find help in your area, how to find people and meet people in your area, and how to do it all COVID safe as well. So it's a really good thing to be fundraising for.
Yeah,
it is.
The event's been going on. Well, it was meant to stop at the end of 2020, but they decided to extend it to the end of February. they've already raised like £66,000.
Nice.
So they've raised a lot of money. I'm like, it's just the idea of a lot of streamers have done it. They're just doing what they would normally be doing on Twitch, but they're asking people to instead of being like, "Oh, subscribe to me," be like, "No, donate money to a good cause instead."
Nice.
So
You
yeah,
get,
Sure.
for the
you
next
get
week,
a-
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next
No,
week,
well,
my streams are all going to, well, probably for a bit longer, to be honest, until it finishes.
Yeah,
be
so
like,
might as well do it till the end of February, or till the
Yeah.
21st of February, because that's when the deadline is, so we can just raise as much money as possible.
Yeah. So yeah, my streams are all going to be done for that effort for now. And I should hope, as I said, it's just, I would be streaming anyway. It's now, instead of just being all about me, it's about someone else.
You get a nice laggy and shit Smash Bros clap that goes too fast, faster than is anatomically possible.
Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, my original goal to how much I want to raise is just like £100 because I don't want to set my goal too high. Then I accidentally managed to set my goal to £300 and I can't change it now. So let's hope I actually raise enough money.
Nice.
Yeah.
And well, if I raise £500, I get a free T-shirt.
Oh.
Hey.
The
Wait.
Yeah,
t-shirt is
it's-
also capped at size XL, so...
Oh, big sad. You get, well, yes, if you raise £50, you get a badge, which I don't know what the badge is meant to be. It looks like a sprout with a Christmas hat on it. So I'm a bit confused, but we shall see. We'll see if I actually manage to raise anything.
Good luck. I wish
Thank
you
you.
all the best of luck. Anyway,
Thank you very much.
I feel like we've clocked in at like actually quite a bit. So yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you
us
for having
this
me.
week. As usual, we feel free to join whenever. And this was a fun week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, all of the listeners, for tuning in. We are now officially on Spotify, are we not, Jan?
Yes, we are.
We are fucking finally on Spotify. So you can listen it on Spotify.
Beautiful.
Up in the
You
world.
can find all. We are in all the major podcast platforms, actually.
Because I only know
what else?
Spotify. Well, are we on Apple?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we will be.
really?
Yes, and Google Podcast too.
Oh, that's so cool.
I found our podcast on Spotify. I've actually.
I'm gonna search for it. I'm gonna search for it on the podcast app or Apple.
Live.
Yeah.
Ginja.
All our podcasts are there. It's great.
No, it's not on the Apple podcast app.
Is it
Okay.
not?
Not yet.
Big
No,
sad.
it takes time.
We'll sort it out.
Oh yeah, but we're on Spotify. Most people listen to them on Spotify anyway.
Mhm.
So, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. We are on multiple platforms now, so that's great. And yeah, as usual, please follow Ginja on his Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Ginja_gaming, and do also follow Violet at twitch.tv/Violet Lilac, correct?
Yep, that's it.
Amazing. And yeah, John, you want to plug something in? Does anyone else want to plug in something apart from the...
No,
Other than
that's fine.
the charity,
Yeah,
like,
the
I mean, if
fundraiser.
you come to the charity fundraiser.
Yeah,
it'd be
come to
great.
the charity fundraiser. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good week, everyone. Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.